Hello, you are watching Shalom World News. I'm Rudy McLennan coming to you from Glasgow, Scotland. Here are the latest headlines from around the world. Israel's ambassador to the United Nations has labelled its Commission of Inquiry, which is tasked with looking into Hamas's crimes of rape and sexual abuse of Israelis, as anti-Semitic and unable to conduct a fair investigation. Ambassador Gilad Erdan told Fox News Digital the Anti-Semitic Commission of Inquiry is biased against Israel in every way. He said Israel, therefore, has zero trust in its findings. Meanwhile, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken said that sexual violence Hamas committed on the 7th of October is almost beyond human description or beyond our capacity to digest. Elsewhere, the head of the World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, has demanded an end to the war and stated that medical personnel are working under unbelievable conditions. He said the war in Gaza is having a catastrophic impact on healthcare in the enclave. Pope Francis reiterated the world's ongoing commitment to defending and strengthening human rights on the 75th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. While recognising the advancements that have been achieved, he also acknowledged the obstacles that have arisen. The Holy Father prayed for war victims and urged everyone to follow the footsteps of those who toiled for global peace. He also emphasised the need for liberating hostages, securing humanitarian supplies in crisis areas, and protecting individuals, hospitals, and places of worship. A historic number of 13 million pilgrims are expected to visit Our Lady of Guadalupe at her shrine in Mexico City on the relevant feast days. The authorities confirmed the number in a statement issued on December the 8th. The head of the Monitoring and Verification Department in the Mayor's office said that from the 1st of December, more than 350,000 pilgrims have already visited the Marian Shrine, and the numbers will have a phenomenal rise by the 12th, that being the feast day of the Virgin of Guadalupe. In a message, the Archdiocese of Mexico City said that after 3 years of the COVID-19 pandemic, the celebrations at the Basilica are returning to normal. The new President of Argentina, Javier Milei, who was sworn in on Sunday, December the 10th, was presented with an icon of Our Lady of Guadalupe by actor, producer and Mexican presidential candidate Eduardo Verastegui. The producer of the Sound of Freedom film said he gave him an image of Our Lady, the Virgin of Guadalupe, which was played by the original Tilma in the Basilica. Previously, in a bold move against child trafficking, Javier Milei signed an agreement with Mr. Verastegui. The agreement was seen as a significant step toward curbing child trafficking. This year's annual nativity scene at the Vatican is very special. The Nativity, unveiled on December the 8th, pays special tribute to the tradition's origins on its 800th anniversary. The scene in St. Peter's Square depicts not only Mary and Joseph standing beside the manger, but also St. Francis of Assisi. On Christmas Eve in 1223, St. Francis arranged the first nativity scene in a cave in the village of Greccio near Rome. The scene includes life-size terracotta figures, which replace the live animals and humans in St. Francis of Assisi's original manger. A copy of the fresco that adorns Greccio's Chapel of the Nativity serves as the scene's backdrop. The year 2023 witnessed an increase in the rate of daily Bible use and the installation of the YouVersion family of apps compared to previous years. This year, the YouVersion community was most engaged with the Bible verse Isaiah chapter 41 verse 10, which says, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." The verse earned the top spot for the third time since 2020 because it corresponded to the needs expressed in app searches by people around the world. The founder and CEO of YouVersion, Bobby Grunwald, said that it was not surprising to see people still drawn to the hope and peace promised by the verse because from a global perspective they went through a lot during the last few years. The Catholic University of Lublin in Poland awarded Professor Karl Anderson with a doctorate for his service and dedication to protect life and promote Christian values among families. The professor, who is a former Supreme Knight of Columbus, said in an interview that it is his honour to receive a doctorate from the university where Pope St. John Paul II taught. In his lecture titled John Paul II in the 21st Century, he compared the accomplishments of the Pope with those of St. Augustine and remarked that the Pope's theology of love is the core of Catholic life. The first ever World Day of Children will be held in Rome on May the 25th and 26th of next year. The initiative is the fruit of Pope Francis's desire to focus on the future of the youngest. This event, sponsored by the Dicastery for Culture and Education, aims to put children at the centre and take care of them. The initiative's primary goal is to provide a safe and nurturing environment for children and to listen to their hopes and goals for a better future. It is also a reminder to adults to pause and pay attention to the simple inquiries of children, pleading for harmony and consideration. The Christian Association of Nigeria has stated that the role of improved governance is crucial in reviving hope in the country. Archbishop Daniel Oko, who is the head of the association, outlined the difficulties that Nigeria is experiencing, which include economic problems, political unrest, violence, and insecurity. He urged citizens not to run away and instead to pursue hope for a better future through responsible leadership. Father Cornelius Omrakua, who is the Executive Secretary of the Nigeria Interreligious Council, shared the same sentiments and urged religious leaders to work together to combat youth unemployment. Furthermore, he extended an invitation to foreign groups to contribute to Nigeria's development. Catholic healthcare organisation Calvary expressed its concern over the Australian Capital Territory Government's newly proposed voluntary assisted dying bill. The organisation's regional chief executive, Ross Hawkins, said the proposed law could allow non-credentialed practitioners to enter healthcare facilities to discuss euthanasia with residents. The group declined the government's invitation to participate in the bill's working group and asked the government instead to make the scheme in line with those in New South Wales. According to the proposed law, if a person wishes to access assisted dying, the healthcare facilities must not object to it, even if they do not wish to provide such services, which is in contrast to the legislation of other states. Over 350 boys and girls from displaced Iraqi families in Lebanon took part in a Christmas celebration on the 10th of December. Ignatius Joseph III Yunan, Syriac Catholic Patriarch of Lebanon, who graced the event, said that Christmas is a time of joy despite pain and suffering. He added that Christmas assures us that nothing can take the joy from our hearts. The Patriarch also wished that the people of Iraq, along with their government and all of its components, will always stand united in love, mutual respect, and preserving the rights of all individuals. The festivities featured a range of activities and events for the young participants. After a congressional hearing on the prevalence of anti-Semitism on US campuses, the president of an Ivy League university resigned on Saturday amid a barrage of criticism. Elizabeth McGill, president of the University of Pennsylvania, voluntarily tendered her resignation. This was announced by the chair of the university's board of trustees, Scott Bok. McGill was one of 3 presidents of prestigious colleges who came under heavy fire. When questioned whether students who advocate for the genocide of Jews on their campuses violate student conduct regulations, the trio responded to the question during the hearing with lengthy, legalistic, and somewhat evasive responses. 74 lawmakers wrote letters demanding the immediate removal of Ms. McGill and the presidents of Harvard University and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Ms. McGill would stay in her post until an interim president is appointed and remain on the faculty of the university's law school. After Israel's bombardment of Gaza, following Hamas's October the 7th attack on Israel, anti-Semitism and hate crimes against Jews and Muslims have become more prevalent in the United States, particularly on college campuses. And those are your latest headlines. Do join us again next time for more. And do remember, in the meantime, you can always visit swnews.org for more updates. Shalom.